You're
he's
not
old
selling
enough.
it to me. Just tell me I can do this.
You can do this.
Okay, let's do this. And show.
Show. I was like, should we cut to the future? Should we cut to the
No, no,
to Adam?
spoiler. We already know. We already
Should we
know.
cut to what's going to happen between Adam and Isabel?
I know. It's a cliffhanger, man. It's a
It's a
cliffhanger.
cliffhanger.
You can't tie everything up. And you know what? I really, really wanted to bring Jane in because, like, you said something about a Jane as well, right at the beginning,
Jane was
Adam
a
and Jane.
theoretical baby. I don't think I was
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
get two babies out of you. Here, this is my my thing. So you're going to use this for editing later. All right, now you have that black thing. Anyone, when you see the black thing during the editing, it's totally fake. It's taken from this moment.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are.
It's
Uh,
like stamp, yeah.
anyway, wow, that was so fun.
It was pretty fun.
That was really fun. I was so glad that we got to do that so that I don't have to do it in my real life. Uh,
Yeah, I know the feeling. No, but what I loved was it was just so heated right at the beginning, and this was like a political, and now this is like at this time too. This is like a full political issue, and that's why I said to you, like I did a Patty Styles call it out thing, where I said like literally like the actor. You're not really comfortable with talking about this, like because the whole abortion thing and everything. So yeah, I think it was great. Like
that I'm not comfortable.
yeah. Well, as an actor, you're kind of going, oh, okay, so we're on this ground. Yeah, it's
Oh, I
interesting.
gotta tell you, I'm more comfortable playing characters dealing with that stuff than I am in real life. You
Yes.
know, like there's
Yeah.
so much going on in.
Yeah.
I think you and I have talked about before that there are certain scenes in art where you have to self-censor all the time for fear of
Mm-hmm.
being canceled or what have you, and or even like it's not even the fear of self-censoring. It's like the fear that that you might need to self-censor. Like I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever actually self-censored. I've had the fear that I might, and people look at me like a white man from America in his 40s. So like I'm already on probation. Like I'm about to say something
Yeah.
wrong. I'm about to be sexist. I'm about to say that wrong thing. And so it's just fun to have my characters. I don't know if anyone's watched this before, but my characters always say things that are like wrong or
Yeah.
borderline
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but the
but
hate was so
anyway,
much more on this, like, because this is a real issue that's going on, like, right now in the world. So it was just really interesting, like,
you mean
you
climate
know,
change, right? Not that one of us has impregnated
yeah, not,
somebody
yeah, of course. I
or
mean, that's
been, yes, not yes. Lindsay and I are
what,
not having an affair
no,
over a 4 hour flight.
yeah.
Walk. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's not bodily autonomy. We're just talking about. Is there still a hole in the ozone layer? Does anybody know? Is it still there? Is it gone?
Yep. It's lessened, something like that.
How'd they do that?
By getting rid of CFCs in the 80s, which the world came together to, which is an example for a lot of people now with climate change to show how we can get together. CFCs
Yeah,
was eliminating one chemical that they had a replacement for.
wasn't it
Getting rid
in
of carbon is the
fridges?
entire way we run the entire world, so it's not a really good example.
Yeah, right. Yeah, although we kind of known that for a while. I think maybe things could have been planned, like about carbon emissions and shit. Um,
So New Zealand, which is where I live, has, at least according to like the internet meme, has one of the oldest articles about climate change, and it's from
oh,
like 1905 in the
what?
Otago Daily Times. Yeah, saying describing what the greenhouse gas effect will be, saying carbon goes over the earth and all that stuff. Yeah, check it out, Otago Times. And is it 1905 or like 1895? I mean, it was like a long time
No
ago.
way. So we're talking
Yeah,
like 120 years ago or something.
yeah, and then his name is slipping me right now, but then the guy is famous in the 80s, spoke in front of Congress and just said like this is happening now and this is
Not
a real
Suzuki.
threat and we need to do something. No, not David Suzuki. Suzuki. It's the other guy that everybody knows, like I feel like Robert some anyway. So, he spoke out and I think he did that in front of Bill McKibben, who started 350.org, all that jazz. Anyway, this is not a history lesson. All I'll say is that we've known about it for a while, and I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, a long time. Apparently longer than I even knew.
Hansen is his name.
Robert Hansen.
Yeah.
Something Hansen. I don't know if the viewers are aware that Ben has a rainbow on him now. That's the earth saying, thank you for speaking up for us. I give you rainbows. And so any comments about the scene? Any other comments about the scene? What'd you like?
Yeah, I'm going to be more condensed than the last one because I was making a joke the last one that we talked longer than the actual
Yeah.
show was,
Yeah.
which turned out to be true. The which I like, but I don't think most people do. So I will say that I like doing grounded work. I teach grounded work. That
Well,
said,
you
I
say
think
grounded, but
often
then you did go to an apocalypse. I mean, it's in a ground. What I always say in the YouTube thing, guys, it's a grounded absurd. Okay, that's what it is.
it's a grounded likely future. And so we,
Okay,
but
okay, I've
no,
got to
what
agree.
so I end up getting going absurd sometimes because in story we want to make choices that are extreme so that we can react to them and go places emotionally and get people further involved in the story. So it has the effects of making things easier on the actor and easier on the audience. And so, for instance, during that, I was like, maybe I'll just smash this glass. And I thought, oh, no, that's like a little too cliche or something like that. So maybe we can just make this extremely normal and then have the other things
Yeah,
be more of the extreme and then pull people
yeah,
in that way, pull ourselves in that way as well, and
yeah.
and show ourselves to be hypocrites. So I very much enjoyed that, but I also enjoyed having to make that decision in the moment about to do that or not. Right.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I enjoyed being alive, knowing that both of those would be like the right thing to do,
That's right.
but maybe one is more right for me and or us and or the audience right
It's a
now. So just that
total
journey.
artistic decision. It's a totally
Hmm.
artistic decision. It's
Hmm.
awesome to have that autonomy and that choice.
Hmm.
You know. I think it was
Yeah.
good. I was like, oh no, and all that when you said apocalypse, right? I was like, no, I'm fucking apocalypse. But actually, it was really good. Like, it was a great choice. I don't know much about dystopian stuff and that, so that's my own like insecurity going, I don't know about dystopias. But the thing is, it doesn't matter really. It's so long as you're real in your reactions as the character, and and I think that worked. Like your potatoes and all that shit, and like my teenager Adam person, that's a teenager over time. It doesn't matter whether it's a dystopian time or the 1950s or the 1970s. Teenagers are like that. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's really interesting. I'm glad you did it. It's not what I wanted, but I'm glad you did it because I think that, yeah, it was good. It was good. It was really good.
Cool. I mean, I didn't want any particular thing. I just like, well, let's if we're talking about it, let's see it, right? I mean, it's just a
And then
very
you said it
basic
like
thing.
really fast, and that's why I couldn't do anything. It's like, let's go back to the apocalypse. So, ah,
I think one thing I'll take away from here is that my characters are often very different from one another. And without the assistance of costuming, I felt my Isabel was a little bit too close to my main character that I was playing. And I
what? Are
know
you
that,
serious? No, no.
well, I felt like well, okay, maybe not, but well, they were relatives anyway, right? Like the
Yeah,
original character was the uncle. So yeah, they look alike,
yeah.
but but yeah, I wanted them to be a little different. And I also enjoyed, yeah, having extreme circumstances for them
Mm.
be treated very neutral. So being forced to decide whether or not they're going to procreate as cousins,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, decide that they have to
Let's
eat their
go into the
mother.
YouTube. Let's go in the description. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this
I,
will not be monetized, this
yeah, yeah.
video. Uh, yeah. But their decision that they have to eat the mother,
We keep doing it. We keep doing it to ourselves. We want to be monetized, but it just won't happen, guys, because we just keep doing it to ourselves. So that's how it is, right? And also, I've got to say that I really appreciated the whole like narrative of the woman who fucking leaves. Like, so you're not always maternal, people. You're not always, so I just really appreciated that narrative. That it's like, yeah, there's some asshole mothers as well. Like, it's not always fathers that leave. It's yeah.
That was funny. I was trying to think too, I think in the moment, maybe not consciously, but a part of me was saying, what is a reason that we could give her to leave that is like the most
shit.
anti-climate change ship, but also still it's like a passion, right? Like a
I didn't
passion of
get
that
that. I
era.
didn't get that. It's so funny because the amount of
Oh,
carbon those motherfuckers are putting into the atmosphere.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
just to tell you something, like I was concerned for my friend last night in Orlando who just survived one of the biggest hurricanes in a
Wow.
century. And it turned out it was okay. And he's like, yeah, a couple of trees got ripped out. And sent me pictures of them. And I said, oh, well, the way those are ripped out, it looks like you can plant those. Like it was designed to replant those. And he said, we're actually going to leave them down because the view is going to be better. And I thought, what a perfect description, a
Mm.
little paradigm of the human condition. You just survived the biggest hurricane in
Yeah.
the world, largely because we take down trees for better views. And the two that were knocked down, we have a second chance, a new lease on life. And we're like, oh, this makes the view better. So it's all gone. I just thought, so
Irony.
anyways, yeah. And so, but it's a perfectly valid thing in today's world, right? You want a better view of your
Yeah.
lake, of nature, and tearing down nature to get a better view of nature. And so I thought, like, what
Mm.
better thing like to stand up for your point of view? Like, this is your dream to get a job as a gig saxophonist on a cruise ship, you know?
Did you
But
say
of
that?
course,
I don't think you said saxophonist.
I did. I
No,
said
you
something along
did.
the lines of like you could play
Okay, I
saxophone
knew
to the.
that.
I said you could play
Yeah.
saxophone to the baby, you know.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah, I didn't hear that bit. Oh, it'll be fun to watch it back and hear that bit because I didn't hear it. But I heard cruise ship and I thought you're a fucking legend.
I don't know. It's getting those specifics, right? It's that
Yeah.
when you get specific, fun things come out. So there's so much of improv that appears to be writing, and some of it is, but others is like well, the first thing that comes out of
Mm.
your mouth, and then just deal with it. And I'm equally scared, right, to go to the future of the apocalypse. What's going to happen?
I'm
But
scared.
going,
Yeah.
yeah, just going
Yeah.
to your experience of it's about potatoes or something like that, you know.
And
And
I appreciate, I'll tell you what I appreciate that you made your partner look good. So I'm leaving, but you're giving me this really compelling reason to leave as well. You know what I
yes,
mean? Like, so it's not, I'm a bitch, but at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I love that. I love that.
oh, cool,
Yeah.
cool, yeah. That's it's just very fun, and I just appreciated how you didn't make uh you didn't make my characters like the bad guy, and neither of us made each other the bad guy here, you
No,
know?
that's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate it when the audience has an opportunity to either decide who the bad guy is themselves, maybe even go back and forth as to who the bad guy is, if they think in that duality, or that if one of the characters is so mean to the other person, making them the bad guy so much that they start to question if the person calling
Yeah,
out the
yeah.
other person for being a bad guy is the bad guy, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
yeah. And finally, I'll just say that I appreciated that we got to have that discussion that is an extension of the kinds of things that I think about a lot. I don't know how much other people think about them,
Yeah.
but the idea of, rational versus biological and why people that are very rational make uh, irrational decisions. Like right now, there's a good portion of people that are this is gonna get political for a second, but that are gonna vote for Donald Trump, and
There it is.
there's no rationality to that. And there's lots of
We're
people
not
that are
getting
like really
monetized, people.
no. And then there's lots of people that are excited about voting for Kamala Harris when really there's no reason to be like excited for her. There's reason to be like scared that she won't win because of the end of the world, which will
Yeah, yeah.
still happen, but
It
Kamala will
happens
delay
anyway.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't be excited about her policy because she just kind of like made it up, on the spot and everything. So you got like 95% of people that are rational people that can totally like see that. But when it comes to just fear and biological urge, you just are just gonna do what your body wants to do, to vote, to procreate, to eat. And so as I like to say, and I'm gonna end it here because I'm talking way too much.
I think it's interesting that you're saying all this, but you got like rainbows all over your face. So it's like, hey guys, see the
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
I try to avoid them, and now I'm kind of doing it on purpose, having them on my
Yeah.
face
It's
because
like,
it's kind of fun.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. It's the sun that goes through these prisms on my windows here.
Yeah.
But the last thing I'll say is that we are the first species to have the kind of ability to plan
Hmm.
The second best to us is like a squirrel or a bear, like a squirrel packs away some
Yeah.
seeds that maybe it goes to find
Yeah,
later,
but that's
or
instinct. I
it's just
wouldn't say
instinct.
it's prefrontal cortex shit. Like,
Right. So we're the first species that can actually plan long term. I'm pretty sure we're not going to be the first species to act long term. And how do we come to terms with that? Um, I don't
well,
know.
I feel like we're probably the only species that will be the cause of our own demise. I mean, most species it's something else that that happens,
Yeah,
like a
maybe the cause of
cataclysm or
it.
something, a meteor.
Yeah, well,
Like we're gonna
yeah,
do it. We're gonna do it to ourselves.
I think any apex predator usually causes their own demise, right? Or even like deer, right? You put a bunch of deer on an island, they eat everything up, they blow up in population, and then boom, they eat up everything, and then they end up dying out. Uh, so
Okay, all right. So you're refuting my theory. Okay, all right.
just a little bit, but in that, like, don't be so hard on yourself. Every species is this stupid. We were just
Right.
hoping to not be the first species that was that stupid.
Yeah, bigger brains.
Bigger brains. But we are one of the first species to have art. Uh,
Hmm.
Neanderthals probably had a lot of art. Erectus probably had art, but we're the first ones to do Viola Spolin, Paul Sills slash David Escobedo slash Brian James O'Connell slash Susan Messing Patty Styles style improv. So it was worth evolving, and the planet will figure something else out.
Oh, there's the happy ending. Is there a moral to the story, Ben?
Yeah, that was good improv, and we should do it more.
Okay, great.
From this perspective of the player, I don't know if it was good to watch. That is up to
Yeah, we don't know
you,
yet.
the
We haven't
viewer.
watched it. We don't know.
We
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
watched
yeah.
it. But if you did
Um,
like it, I
there it
know what
is.
Lindsay's about to tell me to do.
Yes, yeah,
So
yeah.
like it, subscribe, ring the bell so that you'll be notified anytime that we come up again. And some of my competitors on Lindsay's channel, you'll see their stuff too. And I just hope that you don't beat yourself up too much making these kinds of decisions. Hopefully, you could live vicariously through our characters' lament.
Well said. We are Gen D signing off.
Next,
D for dystopian. Yes.
yay! Will be
All right.
E for environment next
Yeah.
time. Is this an E?
Okay.
That
All
looks like an
right.
E.
That's it. Yeah, I don't know.
Ginny,
Oh, look at that. Sort of. There we
we're
go.
there. Bye, everybody. Thank
Or
you.
that
See you
way.
soon. Get in the feedback loop. Last week's one was pretty cool. It wasn't about this. Bye.
Okay, bye.